Quick little thing before we begin this. This is the draft class that I used on Xbox. I had to make a couple of adjustments to ratings, but for the most part, the ratings were already pretty good, and they had a lot of players as well. It wasn't just like 7 or 8 guys and then a bunch of random generated dudes. So that's a good draft class on Xbox. It's the one that I chose for this series. Now here's a little awkward moment where we're waiting for the video to start. Starting with some good news and then some bad news. The good news is we're signing Dorian Finney-Smith, because I didn't want Dante Cunningham, who's old and slow. I'd rather have the young guy who's athletic, who's going to take a little bit of time. Finney-Smith is a good defensive player. Offensively, needs some work. And actually, if you make him a power forward in 2K, his overall drops to like 67 or something. So he's going to be a small forward, where he's like a 74 overall. That's quite a bit of an overall difference. Yeah, tall dude who can play some defense. We're just going to have to work on his offense. You ready for the bad news? Here it comes. Norman Powell's hurt because he hurt his toe. I'm not kidding. He like sprained his left toe, which is the least cool injury ever, but here we are. Tim Hardaway Jr. is going to be starting, which is fine. More offense, less defense, but we'll be okay. We're 37-30 since inserting Terrence Ferguson into the starting lineup, which we went on some weird streaks. We were winning a lot lately, but we lost to quite a bit when we initially made the change, so I don't know. His three-point shot is really maintaining itself. I mean, over 40% with 3 attempts a game is really good. Lately, his offense has been strong for us. He isn't asked to shoot the ball too much, but when he does, it's going in. The three-pointers are working well for him. And Finney-Smith, I mean, I'm not asking him to do too much. He's playing like 7 or 8 minutes a game, and then once Powell comes back, he might not play at all. I don't know. I'm only going to give you one game of Terrence Ferguson, and then we're going to talk about Frank Ntilikina for a minute. So, Ferguson, what did he have against the Nets? 12 points. His ability to score more than 10 points a game is pretty good, which, I mean, it's nice to not have a role player who only puts up like 7 points a game, I guess. So between Ntilikina putting up 10, Powell putting up 12, Ferguson putting up about 12, and then all of them being efficient while doing it, that's some nice low usage scoring, although in that starting lineup, we may need DeAndre Ayton to score more in the future. Also, we could hope that Ntilikina could put up a few more points, not this season, but moving forward. As he had a better season than his rookie year, he's made some improvements, not all of them being drastic. His turnovers have not gotten better, but on the flip side, his efficiency has gotten decently better. I mean, going from basically 43 to 45%. Do have to work on his free throws, which I'm doing in the training thing now. And while we're technically still a worse team when he's in the game, it is an improvement on his first season, but we do still need him in there. I mean, the year that we're having is better than I thought it would be. Like, I didn't think we'd be 7 games over 500, over 60 games into the year. So I'm content with Ntilikina technically making us worse when he's in the game, given his minus on the plus-minus scale. But I have to assume it's going to pay out in the end because of what the guy can do well. I think in the beginning of the season, we attempted to have his shot tendency be a little higher, and I found that his efficiency suffered for that. So we're having him not shoot the ball as much. I guess we're going to have to just go through that process a little slower, working on his shot IQ, his offensive consistency. Those sorts of things will hopefully lead to his efficiency not tanking the moment that I ask him to shoot the ball more, because like the 3-point shooting and the defense is nice, but at a certain point you're going to have to put up more than 10 points a game, even if it's 13 or 14. So hopefully he's able to do that. So we're 37-30 after the Terrence Ferguson move. We seem to be in a good position to contend for the playoffs. And now we're going into a big game against the San Antonio Spurs. About 6.5 minutes left, a 1-point game. And the Spurs are scary because the stuff they run is always... Well, I mean, it's the Spurs. It's Greg Popovich. It's tough to go at sometimes. I'm very lucky that Kawhi Leonard didn't steal the ball from Porzingis, but he still did a damn good job of contesting the jumper. Oh, let me say this now. This is going to be the last Knicks video for about a week because I'm going to be in California for TwitchCon from Thursday to Tuesday. And there's still videos going out, actually 2 videos a day where we're looking at East predictions, West predictions, a whole bunch of awards, and then top 5 at each position. And that's because Knicks videos take a little bit longer to make. So if I'm trying to plan Knicks videos like a week in advance on top of uploading regularly, that could have gotten kind of difficult. So it's just the situation that I'm in. Also, I'm going to be going to the Lakers-Pelicans game, so I get to see Boogie and AD go Alonzo. So that'll be cool. Anyway, JJ Redick did... Why did JJ Redick just score inside? Maybe Ntilikina sucks on defense. Remember earlier when he stripped the ball from Bradley Beal like 2 videos ago or something? Well, then JJ Redick just had a shot on him, so maybe it didn't matter. DeAndre Ayton, I love you. That's the value of Ayton right there. Even if I'm not calling his number on a play, he can still get an offensive rebound for me. That was a damn good job by Tim Hardaway to switch onto the Redick shot because Ntilikina was getting a little bit caught up in some of those screens. Porzingis screen and roll, it's a mainstay, it works out. And these are the type of shots that I do want Ntilikina to be better at. And now that I watched the clip, I saw that Ferguson was actually open for a corner 3, but that one went in, so that's cool. I like this shot from Porzingis, Ayton with another offensive board. The threes were not falling, and we are a team that relies on three-pointers, so if they're not going in, then we could have some troubles. Here's another one, Terrence Ferguson. I mean, lightly contested, I'm cool with it. I thought Gasol was a little fast to get back to him, which is one thing I have to note of. Since the recent patch, the CPU defense is really fast, and I think I might have to turn down their speed just a little bit. But there's also some things I might have to turn down for us as well, one of them being like pass accuracy. I feel like when I'm making a cross-court pass, it's like always right on time and right on target no matter who I'm actually passing the ball with, which is a little ridiculous. So some adjustments that I might need to make for myself as well as the CPU. And I will show my sliders because actually up to this point I haven't adjusted the sliders because I liked where it was at. But I think from this recent patch I might have to do a little something. Another good shot just didn't go in, you know? And, I mean, Ferguson's having a tough night. He's, 1 for 10 from 3? Not exactly the best. Now he's going to have to defend Kawhi on the other end. I'm doing what I can with DeAndre Ayton. And that is the value of Ayton with his rim protection to be able to contest that shot. Now we want another screen from Porzingis. A lot of movement around the free throw line. I should have waited a second there. And I think Ayton just, pushed Gasol down. Because there's really no reason Gasol should have fell there. I figured it was going to be a contest, but then Porzingis beat Aldridge, and there you go, we're up 3 points. I gotta assume Kawhi Leonard's going to be involved in something. Yes, he is. That was a hell of a pump fake. That was a superstar move by Kawhi Leonard right there. I for sure thought he was going to hoist that one up. I make mistakes on defense sometimes. I'm not going to get mad at myself for that one. That was really good by the CPU. I noticed something really interesting on the Hardaway Porzingis screen and roll, and that is that Gasol got his head dunked on. But look at DeAndre Ayton right now. Look at him celebrating while the game is going on. I now take control of Ayton, trying to get him to sprint. He won't move, and then Gasol scores on us. That's pretty bad. 2K, can you please allow me to get out of a guy's celebratory animation if I need him to get back on defense, please? I don't think that's too ridiculous of a request. But Ayton gets it back anyway, because the mid-range jumper, it's pretty okay. If you leave him wide open, he can do some damage. And the reason I called that was because it kind of makes sense to put JJ Redick in the screen and roll, because, I mean, defensively, he probably isn't the best. You can't really get around Porzingis' screens like that, as Kawhi Leonard just does everything for the Spurs. And then it forces Gasol to get involved in the play, and Gasol's kind of slow. So that's the reason we ran that one. So, of course, I don't run it again, because that's what I do. I'm trying to get Porzingis something open because I figure Aldridge can't keep up with him, but he actually does an okay job, and this play is not looking good. I gotta find something out of nowhere. Ntilikina, hopefully we can just get an open shot. That's a good shot from Hardaway, and it just won't drop. We haven't made a single 3, and we've had some good attempts. I'm happy that Kawhi did not dunk on Ntilikina. It was only a layup, but we gotta call time. We're now down 1. We gotta call some real offensive plays here. I mean, I've been calling stuff, but it's just not going in. You know, what do? Do I change the philosophy? We're getting what we want, and now I think Redick heard me say that he can't defend a screen because now he's going lockdown mode on Tim Hardaway Jr., and this is pretty bad. I should have called a timeout here. Now I just need our 7'3" superstar to just bail us out. And he actually managed to do it. That was a scary possession, because I just did a pull-up jumper with the guy, and it actually managed to go in. That's the benefit of star players, man. Sometimes when you got nothing, you can just hoist it up, and it just goes in. So that's where we're at, you know, we're missing some wide open threes, and then that goes in, so yeah. And this is why we have defense. That's why we have defenders on this team for plays like that one, because Ferguson held his own against Kawhi, Ayton brought the help defense, it helped that they had Gasol at the three-point line. We're going to need these free throws. That's not good. Immediately miss one of them, and San Antonio, because of how good Greg Popovich is, I'm sure that they can call up some crazy play with 5 seconds left to get themselves an open three-pointer. So I'm a little scared right now, but there is one adjustment that I can make to make our lives just a little bit better for this last play, because we're just going all defense now. We're going to bring in Dorian Finney-Smith. All defensive players in the game, because Hardaway, I mean, he's not horrible defensively, but Finney-Smith is definitely better. He's also taller at 6'8". Immediately what I notice is that Pau Gasol is the inbound guy, which means I can kind of free roam with DeAndre Ayton, because I don't think Gasol is really going to kill me. Just get a body on Kawhi, and that looks pretty good. Okay. The contest by Ferguson was good enough. That was a close game, man. That was scary stuff. The three-pointers were not falling, and if our threes aren't going in, we could have a tough time, but Porzingis bailed us out. But we also had some good defensive plays there as well, especially that last one where we brought the double team on Kawhi. So that was good. Next Knicks video is in about a week, but I got a million prediction videos coming out. But we got a good win at least.